Welcome back, YouTubers. Welcome back to Driving Home. I'm on a chilly drive home. We got a balmy high of 10 degrees today. Started my day at it was about 12. I think it was 12 below. It was the start temperature for my day this morning. So chilly January day here in Wisconsin. Great plug for project management, construction, or construction management. If you're working out in the field, my hat's off to you today. It's a rough temperature. Anytime we get down into these lower temps, especially below zero, it's not a really comfortable human environment. We can work in it, but it becomes bulky and awkward and very fatiguing. You definitely have to pay attention to your crews, but our plug typically is when we got weather like today, it's sure nice to be a project manager or construction manager where you can sit in a warm office or in your job trailer. We do appreciate what all the men and women in the field are doing on any day, but especially a day like today where we're very much challenged by the cold temperatures and things like that. So welcome to Wisconsin. Wanted to use one of my phrases I use in class today. I'm going to try and get as many of those out to you as I can. So the first one I'm going to roll out to you is Hasty makes Wasty. So what is it? Why is it important? Where the heck did I come up with this? So there is a backstory to it. Hasty makes Wasty came from one of the superintendents that we had at Wathco, which was my first career construction management position. I met Sonny, who was our superintendent. When I met him, he was a superintendent on a Red Lobster project we were doing down at Old National, which is a commercial district, retail district with a mall associated with it. So that Red Lobster that he was remodeling was down towards the airport in Atlanta. So it was a local job for us. A lot of our work was out of state. So it's kind of nice to have a superintendent come in the morning. Our work was night work, so to kind of give you a background on that, why he's popping in the morning and out at the job site. Our work would start after close, so after dinner. They close the restaurant, we would start work, and then work through the night hours, get cleaned up, turn the restaurant back over in a usable condition, and they would open back up for lunch. Some of these jobs that last 2, 3, 4 weeks, depending upon the extent of the work that's being done, but we would work 7 days a week, work in the evening hours. That way they could continue to do their business. We would get our work done uninterrupted, and it kind of satisfied both needs there. So Sonny would use that term all the time. Sonny was from Iowa, late 50s, so Midwest, grassroots, blue collar kind of guy. And Hasty makes Wasty, he would always, I would always hear that. Yeah, so it stuck with me. And when we talk about, when I use the term Hasty makes Wasty, for me it is hurrying up. It's trying to speed things up. And the way I teach construction and the different components of construction, I use what's called, or I call it, the 4 pillars of construction. So what is that? The 4 pillars of construction are cost, so money, your schedule or time, so the time elements. So we got time, money, quality, and then finally safety. And these valves or levers or components, when we change one, when we alter one of those, it is going to change one or all of the other ones. So scheduling, or the time component, if I want to compress my schedule, if I want to speed things up, I want to make the crews work faster, I give them a shorter deadline. I'm putting them in a hurried condition, so they have to work faster to meet that deadline. Well, typically what happens is if we're in a hurry, we make mistakes, or we don't take the appropriate amount of time to do the work properly. And ultimately, a lot of times you're going to find that speed up causes problems. And the big problem that you'll see is things are not done correctly. It leads to rework, and rework costs more time and more money. And my point here is, you really, and this sometimes is hard to do, right? Because we're always trying to get things done quicker. In today's society, speed is everything, right? I order something on the internet and I expect it on my doorstep in 1 or 2 days. And to maintain that level of service in a shorter time frame is sometimes difficult. So again, it's sometimes better to take your time, do it correctly, because you're going to have to come back and do it again. So what oftentimes seems shorter up front is longer in the overall grand scheme of things. And this can be applied to anything, right? I'm applying it to a construction project, working with your trades, things like that. But you can apply this to any activity that you have going on in your life, in your career. And Hasty makes Wasty is kind of my tagline, to take your time, do it right. And do it right the first time. I had a student, Joe, he used a variation of that. I really liked his a lot, but I didn't want to steal his thunder. But Joe would say, if you don't have the time or can afford the time to do it right the first time, how the heck do you have the time to do it twice? And that's also the same premise, right? So Hasty makes Wasty. Love the line. Use it all the time in the classroom. I hope that my students take it with them. I hope you take it with you. It's a motto that we try and live by. I hurry up. I do things quickly. I run into mistakes. And I always look back at it, I'm like, well, I should have just taken my time, because now I'm redoing it, or I'm fixing it, or maybe I have the ability to leave it in a poorly done manner, and I have to just accept the fact that that's how it ended up. Sometimes we don't have the opportunity to redo things, and the extra 5 minutes or a day that it would have taken to do it right, now I'm left with a product that I can't even change, and I can't even fix. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tried to keep it short. Hasty makes Wasty. Make sure that you subscribe and tune in next time. Hopefully I'll have another phrase for you that you can kind of hang your hat on. But until then, I'm driving it home. Hasty makes Wasty, and we'll see you next trip.